Army. Love this. They paired this with their football team going down there to Landover, Maryland. I can't wait for the Army-Navy game. Yeah. Mac, I know. Let's before we talk about this game, let's give America what they want. We have Army-Navy rivalry, in my opinion, with college football is as good as any rivalry there's ever been, arguably better. You got Army, great season. They just stormed the field there at Mikey Stadium last week against Tulane. They're heading to FedEx, whatever the fuck they call that bullshit stadium now, right? But it's oddly enough, I do find it to be one of the better stadiums left in the NFL, even though I don't think it's a good stadium. But they're playing this one close to the Naval Academy in Annapolis. It's if mileage-wise, it's not much. They're laying 6.5 in football. 6.5. I think you got to take Navy because these games are just always so close. Remember what? Army's won 2 straight, but one of those was an overtime when the guy fumbles inside the 5 for Navy. Last year was a 6-point game, 17-11. It was the first time in like 18 years that the over hit. I'm on the under, by the way, yet again. I know you're an Army guy. I know you're Pop's Army guy.
Yeah.
Are you still repping the Black Knights in football?
I think Navy will cover, but of course, Army will win by 3. So let's go Army, beat Navy. Yeah. Give me, what's the over-under set at 38.5? Give me Army to win at FedEx 20-17 over Navy.
Yeah. Yeah, the under's hitting. Navy. The under's hitting. You got the crazy over hit last week.
Yeah. Army's at a big-time disadvantage coming off the Tulane game. It's rare that both teams aren't coming off a bye. So you get Army that had the big time, they rushed the field, and then Navy's a more rested team. Last time I think this happened, actually, Navy was the one that played in the American Championship, and Army beat them outright as a dog. So a little bit worried about that, but Army. Tough. I think it's worth a moneyline sprinkle. That game is awesome. If you've never watched that game, yep,
it's awesome, and you should go. Sabres is asking me if I'm going to the ECU NC State game in Annapolis. It's potentially. I got a bunch of shit happening. I'm building a studio. Like I want to go. Me and NC Nick have considered going to that game. Well, I thought I was going to be going to Army Navy, but my, didn't work out. Son's not feeling the greatest. So, just didn't work out. So, I think potentially, I'd say right now it's 50-50 though. Just because I know I have some people coming to work on the studio that I'm putting together here. Anyway, the basketball game. Shout out to R. Wright giving us $20 for Military Bowl tickets. There we go. Amen. The Black Knights are heading to Washington, D.C. Take on the Colonials of George Washington. The Colonials of George Washington. This is at the Charles Smith Center, so please dunk it next time. I don't know if anyone will get that reference, but classic Pitt Panther, by the way. That was an all-time pussy moment, by the way. But GW 5-0 at home. By the way, we did get someone saying that we didn't break down the games last night. I thought we broke them down.
What was there to break down?
Yeah, we just happened to talk about Campbell's for about an hour.
What do you want me to do? Read off their fucking Ken Palm fucking rating for a half hour? You fuckers would fall asleep. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's all beer, baby.
I'd take care of that for like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
Keith Landry, there is a star on the top of that Christmas tree, but guess what? It's a fucking starfish. Oh, yeah. I shit you not. All right. There's a star on the top of that tree. It just doesn't light up like a normal star. I think this is ridiculous. I think Army can cover this number. My opinion of George Washington.
Yeah.
A bunch of fucking losers. And give me the 11.5. What was that? What happened last time they played?
They haven't played in forever. I was actually looking up that. I was like, I feel like these two should play more often.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice get up spot for Army going to the nation's capital. I mean, taking a lot of pride here, and I think Army's going to cover. I'm going to lock Army. I think G-Dub will probably win by single digits. To do a tuck job analysis, Bieniek, I would say, who's better, Army or VMI? I would say Army. G-Dub had trouble pulling away in that type of game. And I don't think that there's a lot of motivation for GW to blow out Army.
Did they really just, and I know Clark was mentioning this before.
In 2015, GW won by 11.
That's what I'm saying. They phone in that line just saying, well, they played in 15. It was 11-point game, set at 11. Army, to what Clark was saying, Jalen Rucker, best player on the court, perhaps. I do think Army has that. Give me the points. Lock. Betting every game again. We're betting every game again. What's that?
I said, let's go. GW's 0-1 against the Patriot League so far this year. They lost to AU. Let's go Army.
Boston, BU. It's heading into, where the hell is this? North Andover, Massachusetts. Take on Merrimack. Merrimack's laying 5.5. Last time they played a year ago, December 30th, BU won by 11. Oh, kind of like the revenge angle here. I'm going to lay the 5.5 with Merrimack strictly on that revenge. Do I feel great about this one out of all of them? Probably not, because I think BU's all right. I'm going to lay it, even though I would say I'll say this. Out of all the games, I think this is the North Carolina A&T Virginia Tech game from a night ago. What are you doing here?
I think I'm going to take the Terriers. I think it's that perfect 5.5. Take the dog number here. The Terriers got a lot of experience. They, like you said, they've won. They have won the last 4 in this matchup. I think that I think they're live in this game. I think it's a 1-possession game. So give me the Terriers here going to Merrimack in a rare home game. So
let's talk about this though. It's obvious, right?
What's that?
To me, aren't you falling in the trap of how obvious it is?
What? That getting Boston points?
Yeah, I'm just saying, the line set. So get this. But BU has one better win on the column. They're 5-5. Merrimack's 4-6. Yeah. BU beat them by 11. It's not a real road trip because it's cross town. Why the fuck is Merrimack a 5.5-point favorite? That's a lot of my logic here. It's just a revenge game. Everyone's going to on Boston. I've watched both teams. I think both teams are decent. Why is it 5.5? If I was setting this, it would be like Merrimack minus. If I'm making Merrimack a favorite, which is a big if, I would be like 1.5.
I think because Merrimack's won 3 in a row. They were really impressive in their last game.
BU's won 2 in a row though.
Yeah, but they won 3 in a row on the road. Merrimack.
Yeah. I think the line stinks to high hell. Battle.
Let's go. Fade the team coming back home from the road trip.
What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you.
We got a battle in North Andover, Massachusetts. Dundee saying Warriors come out to play. Mac jumping on these Terriers. All right, next up. We got Georgia Southern. It's heading to Ruston, Louisiana to take on Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech's laying 11.5. So it's tricky here. You got Louisiana Tech kind of off that rivalry win against the Raging Cajuns.
Yeah.
So you think letdown spot, but I kind of like this La Tech team. And remember, I bet on Georgia Southern a little while ago. I think it was 2 games ago against VCU, and they lost by 50. I hate laying 11.5 with the Louisiana Tech team. I don't give a shit if they got Karl Malone playing for them. But I don't think Southern's that good. But I feel like I gotta take the points. talk me into
Louisiana Tech's got a huge game on Monday. They got Grand Canyon coming down to Ruston.
I feel like you got to take the point just because it's off of the rivalry game.
Yep.
Right? So let's lock Southern, even though they've made me look like a fool. Shout out to Fernando giving us $20. He says, I'm a welder on a night shift, and this makes my night go faster. Great show. Rest in peace to Mike Leach. Yes, amen. And, ironically, we were talking about Coach Leach last night, and it didn't even dawn on me that this is exactly the eve of him dying 2 years ago. So rest in peace to the great Coach Leach, and thank you for tuning in. And I'm honored to help the night shift. I feel like we speak to so many people that work on the night shift, whether it's at Costco. I remember we had Costco in Vegas. I think it was that like 7 or 8 people were listening to us within that. Hopefully we don't get them fired when I go on my tangents about certain things. Yeah, I feel like we've had UPS drivers and shit. We're speaking to I just find it fascinating, like how many people. I guess I shouldn't find it that fascinating, but I do. But
Dusty May's biggest fan, with the avatar picture of the Santa Claus that Trevor created. He says he's night shift gang too. Yeah. I mean, dude, I look, in a way, I feel like I'm on the night shift, obviously, because I'm recording this till like 5 a.m. a lot of nights. But Derek Blaylock says he's night shift with Coors right now.
There we go. We got Budweiser, we got Coors. Fantastic.
UPS 357 saying night
Hell
shift.
Hell yeah. And that's fantastic. Like
One
that's awesome.
Way says he's a truck driver night shift.
Hell yeah. You trying to hook me up with a truck?
DDJ, Vegas night shift watcher. Isaac Mike is a night shift.
Yeah.
Michael Aravalo says night shift.
Hell yeah, man. Power
Nathan
plant
Cerna,
operator.
Money boy.
Turn that shit off.
Let's go.
I dare you to turn it off for 10 minutes. Next time Matt goes and gets a drink, turn that power off just for that run.
Good
and let's see how that works out.
Shout out to all you guys. Thank you very much.
No, that's really awesome, and we appreciate all the work you guys do. I mean, whether it's the power plant, I don't know where the hell you are. Whether it's, the people at Coors and Budweiser.
Steel Mill says Jason Miller. So Mill.
Noah says he's different. Not Noah Bieniek. Noah Carter says he sells meth at night. Well, shout out to all the drug dealers. Shout out to the drug dealers too. I understand you got to do what you got to do.
Crutch says not on night shift. He's just an insomniac.
There we go.
One guy that said he's unemployed night shift.
I saw that too. I wasn't gonna say it, but that was funny.
3802 says Colby has the moves from the East Coast made it easier to do these shows. No way.
No.
In my opinion, like it is drastically harder. On the East Coast than the West Coast, because the West Coast, I actually had the rhythm to this. Like the West Coast, I would get done, and it makes me respect Mac and Noah even more. Which I know I don't have a lot of respect for those guys, but it's maybe respect them a lot more because now I know they don't have kids, so maybe they don't, but they still have other shit that they got going on in their life. But we get done at like 4 or 5 a.m. on a lot of nights, and then I have my son. Like I've noticed that even if I stay in the room with the door shut, it's gonna be loud.
Yeah.
And sleep's just not a reality. It's just once like 8 or 9 o'clock happens, I got dogs, shit's barking, people are barking, like just hearing shit, and it's just so East Coast to me, way harder to me. I don't understand the time zone. I don't understand how it ever happened. Just it's like daylight savings, right? It's like, why are we doing this to ourselves? Like, why do sports start so late on the East Coast? It's really, look, I grew up on the East Coast and I love the East Coast. And I was a sports fan, from the minute I was born, I feel like, because my brothers. But fuck, man, the West Coast is awesome when you just wake up and you're like, oh, guess what? Games are on pretty much right away.
Yeah.
And even those are on weekends. Even on weekdays, you get them at like 3 or 4 o'clock, and it's perfect. It's perfect. I feel like here it's tough, man. I'm curious your thoughts. I know you haven't lived on the West, but you've lived in like different time zones, right? Tennessee.
Yeah, I loved the Central. Central was nice. I mean that 11 a.m. kickoff where you could, if you want to get a morning workout in or do whatever you want to do in the morning, you can get that in, and then games are still kicking off at 11 a.m. And then love that the games were done by midnight. Games.
Oh, dude, that was this is what I'm saying. Like this thing puts like, I feel like before, like I could get through at nights that we weren't doing the basketball when it was football or what, like I could get through my show, my work, and come home and still like, oh, guess what? I can go to dinner with my wife. You know what I mean? I could go do things. Like now it's like, hey honey, how you doing? It's 4:30 in the morning and I smell like Christian Slater because I've been having cocktails, right? So you know what I mean? It's just I did want to shout out Bieniek. Can you throw the link to the store in there for Money Boy who's looking for the DGen University hat? If you have the SGPN app, if you click on store, but if not, Bieniek, maybe you can, maybe you can't. I know your computer's fucking horrible, just like your picks. He had a good night tonight. I can't bust his balls.
His computer's gonna crash listening to you talk about it.
True. But anyway, shout out to all the people working overnight, doing the just a UPS, man. I fucking use you all the time. You've lost a couple packages of mine. I'm fucking around, but no. I am missing an iPad. Maybe I don't know. But thank you all the people that are checking us out in the wee hours of the night or whenever. It's really cool. All right, next up, we're going to Cedar Falls, where Omaha Steaks, the Mavericks here, are catching 15.5.
Yeah.
What the hell's the stadium called again? It's like McLeod Center.
We gotta bring back one of our sisters. We gotta fade the team coming off a rare 100-point outing. They just put a 101 up on Northern Illinois, and the game before that, they beat Illinois. They hadn't been playing well before these two random games. They win by 10. Give me Omaha.
God, this is the second hardest game, by the way.
I ain't laying this number. Fuck no.
I think you got to take the points, but am I concerned a little bit when you have the 268th rated offense, Omaha, and the 306th rated defense? And guess what? You're facing the 80th best offense and the 109th best defense. It's a little concerning, but I do think we take Omaha. I do think we do. Yeah. 15.5. I think Northern Iowa wins by 14, 15, something like that. Double lock because we're betting every fucking game.
Omaha.
Yes. Let's go, Omaha. Come on, Mavericks. You got this.
Hey, this is coming off that nice Sac State win. They showed life. You got a little momentum.
All right, this next one, I'm all over, though. Indiana heading to Lincoln, Nebraska. What the hell is this bullshit corporate stadium name they're using these days?
Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Pinnacle Bank.
Or
disgusting.
Center, one of the two.
Couldn't call this fucking Piatowski Court, you bastards. All right. I put Ned. No, it's NEB, but who cares? Since they're gonna call it this corporate bullshit. Who cares? Nebraska is laying. I'm seeing 4.5 now. It was 3.5 when I made the slide. Like
you can get a 4
15 minutes ago.
You can get a 4.
Shout out to Ivan. Says shout out to you guys. It's been an awesome week. Appreciate you, Ivan. Yeah, I'm betting Nebraska. Get this Indiana bullshit out of here. All right. I'm going to continue to try to fade Woodson on the road. Yeah. Now, obviously, what would be your buying point on Indiana? I'm curious. I'm assuming you're going with Nebraska as well, Mac, but I'm not sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What would be the buy-in point? If this goes to 5.5?
Maybe 7.
Yeah.
I think Nebraska's going to open it up. I think that they beat them last year on January 3rd, February 21st, March 15th. They're going for 4 wins in the calendar year over Indiana. I think they're going to win by double digits. I'm not a believer in this Indiana team. And now they're hitting the road. Nebraska rolls. Let's go. Go Big Red.
not only am I not a believer in Indiana, and I know Noah says keep fading. The other Noah, not Bieniek.
Oh, gladly keep fading.
Well, Nebraska's fire at home.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're fire at home over it's like in the Hoiberg era, they've been pretty good, at least the past couple of years. So I'm with you. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
Yeah, they had one loss at home last year, and it was in that weird Creighton, Nebraska series where the road teams just keep winning. And they haven't lost a home game yet this season. Indiana's first road game together as a unit. This is a brand new roster. I think it could be tough. They're 1-2 in neutral site games against teams more their caliber. They beat Providence without Bryce Hopkins. Give me Nebraska here. I think they win it by 2 possessions easy. And it's the best game of the night, and I'll be watching it. So I got to play.
I mean, this with the FCS football game and some of the other games, but it's not like the defense is that much better. I see someone in the chat saying Indiana's.
I see Nebraska's defense is better.
Nebraska's actually better.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Well, I'm saying like defensive rating, Indiana's 83rd, Nebraska's 96th.
Nebraska's schedule has been noticeably weaker. 300s non-conference strength of schedule compared to 116 for Indiana. But
I mean, how about Indiana on?
It's Hoiberg against Woodson. Give me that every day.
Yeah, enjoy Mike Woodson on the road. Yeah. Enjoy Mike Woodson on the road. You guys are getting drilled in this one.
Indiana's been a horrible rebounding team. They're 304th in offensive rebounds, 142nd in rebounding in general, but Nebraska is much better there. And then when you add in the free throw line, and surprisingly, though, Nebraska's been terrible at shooting the three so far this year. But I'm with you. Triple lock. Let's go with the mayor, Fred Hoiberg, at home.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Triple lock on these Huskers. Let's go. Playing 4 is the number we currently see 4.
Time out. Noah Weiner, how does he own Nebraska if I just said he got his ass beat 3 straight times last year by Nebraska?
Well, technically not even last year, still the calendar year.
Yeah, he doesn't own shit. Hey, Noah, you got to give out your meatloaf play of the day. We added that to the show.
Yeah.
When you lost your Wi-Fi, we added we said you were yelling at your mom to turn on the Wi-Fi and the meatloaf. You needed the meatloaf.
Yeah.
So
last night it was like 30-mile-an-hour wind with some snow. Apparently it was powerful enough to knock out the Wi-Fi at 2 a.m. or whatever. But meatloaf play of the day. I'll keep.
So just have one prepared for it. Shout out to Colt giving us $2.
Is this a bit? Should it be like a interesting play or like my favorite play of the night or?
Yeah, the meatloaf or the Ecto Cooler play of the day. Either or. The juice box. How about the juice box play of the day? The
Kool-Aid play of the day.
Any of the 3 work. I wanted to address Colt. He says he's got the FCS playoff game. He's giving us $2. Idaho, Montana State. See, my pals like Montana State on the college football show, but I like Idaho and Jason Eck. They got healthier at the quarterback spot. I know they got drilled in Bozeman in the regular season, but they didn't have their starting quarterback. So I went with the Vandals. I think it was 11.5 that I got. Mac, I don't know if you have an opinion on that one, but
I have not dove into that game. You said did you say you're on the Vandals or Bobcats?
I'm on the Vandals because I know like Montana State's the number 1 ranked team coming into the FCS playoffs. Yeah, I just feel like Idaho, they played Oregon really well with their starting quarterback. It was a 3-point game with 6 minutes left in the 4th. I think Idaho can stay within 11.5 in Bozeman.
I'm with you. That's too many points. Yeah. That's a little bit too much respect for Montana State.
That's our Friday night FCS football game. Subscribe to the FCS College Football Experience, folks, as well. Yeah, love Nebraska here. Triple lock. Let's jump on over to San Antone, where the North Dakota Fighting Hawks are coming into town, catching 6.5. The over-under I'm seeing currently at 152.5. This is an interesting game because you have North Dakota, who's been ass on the road at 1-4.
Yeah.
But it kind of been like a surprise story of the year. They're playing much better than a year ago. And I think in similar vein, you can kind of say UTSA, even though they're 3-5, I feel like both these teams were really bad a year ago, and I kind of like them to be like, I think they're just way better basketball teams than a year ago. Now, doesn't mean they're good basketball teams. Just means they're improved. What are you doing here? Because you could talk me into, like, my first thought was UTSA.
I like UTSA. Hey, do you know that they play again on Sunday at Utah at North Dakota?
Wow,
This is a home and home.
yeah.
This is
72-hour home and home.
Yeah, give me
Are
the
they
home
going to
team.
they're going to take the same plane to North Dakota or same bus to North Dakota here?
That's a good question. I just think it's a quick turn.
I hope they're not taking a bus to North Dakota from San Antonio.
Yeah, and I think also, like, North Dakota played at Utah Valley on Monday night. Kind of game got away from them late there. Travel spot here. I think I like the Roadrunners back at home coming off both of those losses to get it done here.
Yeah. Meep.
Go.
Yeah, bus is not possible, right? What are they? You gonna leave at halftime?
Yeah.
What is that bus time? That's gotta be 5 days. Yeah, a double lock UTSA -6.5. Then shout out to Cody Frazier. Hey, shout out to you, Cody, man. I hope all goes well. I know your wife's expecting twins. I don't know. Good luck with that. I'm saying, it's going to be great, but I'm just saying, like, man,
Good luck.
My guy, he demands your attention nonstop. He's fantastic. It's one of the greatest gifts I think you could ever have on the planet. But two for one. You're going. That's what I like about you, Cody. You go for it all. You know what I mean? You just say, you know what? One's not good enough, baby. Let's go for two. But shout out, best wishes with everything with that, man. I think everything will go well, man. You'll be a great dad. And yeah, congrats, man.
Well said, Colby. Congrats, Cody.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Let's go. Next up, we're going to the Tommies, St. Paul, Minnesota, where St. Thomas is laying 11.5, the over-under at 147.5, and the Western Michigan Broncos think they can just gallop right into fucking town and get it done against these Tommies. I'm not buying it. I'm gonna go chalk here at the Shoenecker. You don't just walk into the shoe and expect to get a dub or expect to cover 11.5. I believe last time they played, St. Thomas won by 15. So I will lay the 11.5. What are you doing here, Mac?
Yeah, I think you're getting cute if you talk yourself into Western Michigan. Don't go get the Tommies in Tommyville at the Shoenecker, baby. I think the Tommies win by 15-20. They blow it open. Tough place to play.
Bieniek, you're a Michigan specialist. I know you told me that Western Michigan has the best fans in all of Michigan.
No,
but
Central does.
Central, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I bet the same last year. This is a return game and a home set. St. Thomas won by 15 in Kalamazoo last year. I'm with Mac. I think they win this thing by 15-20. Let's lock up the Tommies here at home. Shoot.
Meatloaf play of the day.
Meatloaf. This is the Meatloaf. Yeah.
Let's go.
Meatloaf.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Triple lock. Give me the Tommies. -11.5 against these Broncos. All right, next up, we got the South Dakota State Jackrabbits hopping into town to Boulder, Colorado, to take on these Buffs. Tad Boyle and the Buffs way ahead of schedule, if I may say so. But the Buffs are laying 8.5. And God damn it, I still feel robbed the other night from these Jackrabbits not covering. And I know they've been on the road for a little bit here. However, no. I'm taking my Jackrabbits. I love Colorado. You know that. I watch more Colorado than probably anyone watching this fucking show. But I don't like it's the games like this, especially with a new team, because that's really what they are. Everyone else left. I'll take the 8.5 with South Dakota State. I know they're a new team too, but I still feel like they're a little battle tested. It's Boulder. Like, what do you? I just think 8.5 is a little too much. Colorado wins by 2, 3. I mean, shit. It's not even a crazy money line play. If you're trying to look for a money line dog, wouldn't shock me if South Dakota State got him. What are you doing here?
I think Colorado's going to win, but I do think South Dakota State's going to cover this number. I think that, like you said, that game got away from them the other night, but I think that was not an indication of the game. So yeah, give me the Jackrabbits here. Proud program to keep it within the number. I think we get a tight game. Maybe South Dakota State even picks them off. So let's go. Jackrabbits culture.
Double lock on these Jackrabbits. Someone in the chat saying, Kai J saying, KJ? I don't know how to, I don't know how to pronounce it. But it's Kaya. Okay. I'm stupid. But I don't know. I don't really touch totals too much because overtime can happen. I just feel like I'm sharper on the, and it kind of goes for all sports.
Yeah,
really. I mean,
I think the way I watch basketball in general, I just be like, oh, that team, I think can do this against this team. It doesn't really compute when it goes to scoring totals, and even when I've taken totals, I'm like trying to do the math in my head. Okay, like I still don't even know what kind of pace I'm rooting for kind of throughout. Like if it's an over and we've only got 40 points through 16 minutes, are we good yet? I don't like doing math while watching the game. Just give me the typical spread. Who's going to win?
And I don't even like, okay, in football sometimes, I mean, I'll bet totals if it's blatant and I just have a great feel about it.
Yeah.
Like the Army Navy one, I take the under every year. I know, there's certain games in basketball too. I know there's times where we've been on this show where I said I like the under in this game, but I don't. It's harder to have a feel, in my opinion, on that. Mac, your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I like postseason unders. I'm a big postseason unders guy, but I got no feel in the regular season.
I know we do love totals when it comes to the NCAA tournament. Let me stand corrected there.
And football, playoffs. I like unders.
Anything honestly, neutral site, I think we love.
Correct. It's not even just postseason. It's like neutral. You kind of think unders got a better chance there.
So I stand corrected a little bit. My bad. First half unders. We've been killing that thing for a long time. I know it wasn't amazing last year, but over the years of this show,
it's gotten a hell of a lot more popular over the years. Yeah. You guys have kept the record since 2011, I believe it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey, shout out to that guy in the chat saying, fade the picks. This is a good fade night. Congrats on your 2-5 night tonight, buddy. You did well. Fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, it's always the best. Fade the pick. I mean, the show is recorded.
You know how it goes for you the rest of the year. And enjoy your parents.
It's recorded. You can tally these up.
Well, I mean, you don't even need to tally them up. We do that for you on Tally Site. So
that's true.
Head over sportsgamblingpodcast.com
a pile of shit like that. Their math isn't all there. But
you view it for free. You don't even have to pay to view all the picks. You don't even have to listen to this show to know our picks.
I mean, there's so many angles. There's so many angles. You don't even have to watch the show. Like I don't even care. I don't care.
As long as you give us a click on the website or a view here on YouTube or a download on podcast, that's all we care about. You know, one of the three ways.
Actually, him specifically or her, whoever's saying this. I don't. Yeah, you never know.
Burner.
I don't even care. I don't even care if they like or subscribe. If I'm really being honest, I mean, I care about the fans that we have.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on. A lot of
Maui overs are also pretty automatic with the soft rim.
Noah's still thinking about his totals.
Fucking guy over here.
His meatloaf fucking totals over there. What's the over-under on slices of meatloaf you're going to have tonight, Bieniek? There's your over-under of the night.
Eric says
usually more than a couple.
Eric says, what's the picks page? So on sportsgamblingpodcast.com, we have, or the SGPN app, there's a thing that documents all of our picks. And it has our records. And it will have a lock by it if we're betting it. And it's pretty damn accurate for the most part, as far as like occasionally like that Creighton game where Cockbrenner ended up playing. I forgot to update the page for me. I switched over to, I just needed to know he was playing to bet Creighton. But like it's like 98% accurate, I would say, as far as all of our shit. If anything, I do think our record would be a little bit better, or at least mine would be a little bit better. If I remembered some of the, like, there was a couple times where you get injury news late and you bounce off of a lock, but you forget to do it on the picks page. You just do it. But yeah, it's like 99.8% accurate, I would say.
They do a good job. They do a good job.
Yeah, they do a good job.
I prefer barbecue, Clark.
He's still talking about this
barbecue. In general, what are we talking about here?
I think they're talking about
comment. Ketchup and barbecue sauce with meatloaf.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Noah's like a cartoon character. It's just hilarious. He pops in for like a quick nugget, then he's out. It's great.
I think I would go ketchup too, but I mean, I can't see barbecue sauce really being that bad on it. Shout out to Tar Heel Nation. They got to be excited about Mr. Belichick coming to town.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Bobby Organ. The show is funny. You guys are entertaining. Appreciate it. That like Colby said the other night, if you bet the money, own it. Yeah. And where else will you see camel videos in general? Not even Animal Planet. You ever notice that Animal Planet, they kind of don't really show a lot of different animals. You ever notice this? I'm a guy that watches a lot of Animal Planet or the National Geographic and shit. You ever watch these documentaries? I feel like they miss out on a lot of big time animals. You ever feel this way, Mac? You watch for like Nat Geo or something?
No, not really. That's not my cup of tea. In terms of animals, I like Lion King. King. King of the Jungle.
I've never seen Lion King, but I will say this.
You're going to rip on me for not watching movies, and you're going to come out here and say you haven't seen Lion King?
I told you guys, man. I'm older than you guys. Let me explain my life. I didn't watch any of those fucking. I have older brothers. I was watching sports I never had the choice.
Me too.
You're the oldest. You were born in like 2025.
Yeah, you shit on me for not watching any movies that come out in like the 90s.
Animated movies. Think about this. I remember trying to watch like fucking Scooby-Doo. And my brothers would just come and push me in the fucking head and then put on like football or basketball or Commando or Terminator or something. You know what I mean? So it was like I didn't get a normal, like all my friends. I remember like having this conversation at like lunch in like fourth grade and shit of like, or people were seeing these movies and I'm like, what the fuck? Now I was seeing cool shit. I mean, I definitely saw like cool movies.
You saw a tuba player get blown up in the end zone.
I did. I saw the Stanford Cal game at a very young age. But that's what I'm saying. It's like I didn't, especially like the animation movies, I didn't catch until later on. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm saying like later on, like I didn't go deep dive back through the animation. I caught, like when South Park and shit started coming out, I started to watch South Park because I was on my own free will. But like before, you're kind of counting on your parents or like your circle of friends to say, hey, let's watch Lion King or whatever. You know what I mean? And that just didn't happen for me. I got in some Scooby-Doo, but majority of times, brothers would say, what the fuck you doing, loser? Turn this shit off. What are you, an idiot? Yeah.
What videos do you have for us tonight to break down?
I didn't even really go through this, but I'm sure we still have a game to talk about. But
I mean that camel beating the shit out of that guy set the tone for the night tonight for the picks.
Porky's 3 was one that I would watch. That's what I'm saying. I saw some softcore. That's another thing. I saw like the Skinamax, Red Shoe Diary shit, all that stuff, like softcore stuff at a very young age. It was probably if only my mother. See, my mother was naive to think that like she's just like, oh, he's downstairs playing with his brothers, and you had just crazy shit on the television. You know what I mean? It was just it was a different time period. She was born in an era that didn't really have TV, so or if so, it was like 4 channels. I mean, if we're gonna go animals, this is always a classic to me. It's loading here. Stay with me here, but yeah, I'm sure everyone's seen this, but it's a classic, and this is a monkey one, where he decides to stick his hand in his asshole and then smell his hand while he's on a tree, and he falls out of the tree. Once he smells it, it's a classic in my opinion, because he's very curious of where he put his hand. And then youtube.com/the college experience. Like I said, he's up in a tree a little bit, like not that far up, but far enough.
That looks like Western Michigan right there.
Yeah, exactly. That's the Western Michigan. If you're on the Western Michigan side of things, that is your pick right there. And I still feel like, I don't know if it's going as slow for the people as it's going on my computer right now, but it is going rather slow on my computer. But yeah, I mean, you got to be like the monkey, the poor monkey, no CTE here. If he falls off this thing, and God knows where he lands. But yeah, that's the Western Michigan. If you're on Western Michigan tonight, that would sum that up.
That's the shoe necker. That shoe necker's the tree branch. There you go, falling down.
That's one that's just randomly on my computer. The first one that I thought of. Let me see what else we could do here. This is one of my.
The comments about the boat, the comments in the chat this morning, or comments after the show about the boat, was fantastic.
There's this next one.
I posted that on
probably
Twitter too.
This is probably my
fucking laugh that Colby had. He was like, and watch this bitch in the middle. She's gonna eat.
It's so great. And then her face after. But this next one, favorite black person ever, maybe. Because this and like I have a lot of like I could do a few hours on this, but this guy doing the news and somewhere that I just imagine this being Mississippi. I have no actual proof of this being Mississippi, but let's cue up one of the greatest of all time.
Shit! I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck, I can't see pollen. Let's get the fuck out of this country, motherfucker. I can't even see me.
The best part is though, I don't know if my computer's just running slow. This.
The fuck is that?
No.
What's death?
He's talking like with like white man voice.
Shit!
And then this death. And then he just goes like
I'm
full.
dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town.
Looks like he's at UL Monroe.
Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck, I can't see pollen. Let's get the fuck out of this country, motherfucker.
I'd love to buy this guy a beer. I
me.
want to get drunk with this dude.
Got a fancy suit on too.
He's like, well, Nancy, it's back to you. It sounds like just just fucking just the whitest take, and then it was like just goes straight into like classic pissed off black guy. You know what I mean? Just
Deep South,
fantastic stuff.
He was covering Sela in Louisiana the other night at the Cajun Dome. That was the Cajun Dome in the background.
Oh shit! I think I added it to the stage again. I was trying to remove it, Noah.
I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town.
He's like at a baseball field too. Like, what the fuck is he covering? It's like power lines in the background. That's a classic there. Yeah, I mean that honestly, I probably watched that way more than any sane human being should. We got one more game, but hold on, let me see if I can do one more just randomly. That I have a lot of fun with here.
Get them all in because you ain't going to be able to get them in tomorrow with all those 797 games we got to cover.
The slate is just fire. I don't know why, but I found this video very amusing. Some might call me an asshole. I can live with that. But there was a bear that went into like a city in Montana, and they had to get the bear down. And I found it rather humorous. And I'm normally on the side of the bear here. Like when the bear ate, hold on, if I could talk about this before we play this. Like if you've seen the documentary Grizzly Man, I didn't have a problem. If anything, the only problem I had with the documentary is we killed the bear to find that guy. You know, like the guy's up there and I don't know if you've seen the documentary, Mac, but this asshole, he's a true asshole in my opinion, because he's just like, he's done with society and he's like, no, I'm going to go up there in Alaska and, you know, what's wrong with our anti-society, everything. And he's like, I'm one with the bears. There's like videos of him petting these fucking bears, wild bears in Alaska in the documentary. But the bears are all full of salmon because the salmon's going upstream and shit. And they don't view him as a threat right now, or like and this guy is just the most annoying guy watching this thing. It's a fascinating documentary. I think it might even won an Oscar, but the bears eventually, you know, the salmon, the season changes. They get very hungry because the salmon's not going upstream. And then this jackass is still like camping out right next to the bears. Right. And he's also like talking shit about the park rangers. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Like park rangers trying to just get you to move along so you don't get eaten by a bear. And then one day the bears eat him. Right. And it apparently was incredibly graphic. I think you can actually find the shit, like the audio side of it, because as I imagine a bear attack would be graphic. But I had a problem. I thought it was actually kind of like an awesome documentary from the fact of like we're seeing like Darwinism. Like this is an idiot that thinks he's a bear. He's like petting the bear on the head. Like in one scene, he's like petting the bear on the head, talking about the park ranger, like in the distance, being like, that's the enemy. We're not, but we're friends. We're friends. And I'm just like, no, that you're a fucking bear, dude. Right. And, or, you know, the bear will say, fuck you if he has to. And eventually that day came and he ate him. And anyway, that was one where I was all the way on Team Bear. I thought it was ridiculous that we had to go kill the bear to get the autopsy for the guy. I just thought, yeah, that's an idiot. We don't need to worry about that. Let the bear be the bear. This, though, I found rather hilarious. They're up in the woods. They shoot it with a tranquilizer, and it jumps off a trampoline and then face first. There's something funny about a big-ass bear falling to me. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, some don't find that funny. I find it funny. Just like the fact he's going face down and the fact they had the decency to put a fucking trampoline there and then it bounces off they didn't think this through. They didn't think, wait, a bear weighs a lot. So it's not just going to keep bouncing on the trampoline, especially if it's coming at an angle. It's going to go somewhere else. And it did, and the bear went face first into the ground. But as far as I know, the bear lived. I actually think I saw that when it happened. But yeah, anyway, big fan of animals here. And my original point with all of this was that I think if you watch a lot of Nat Geo, they don't show a lot of they kind of go they kind of TMZ it, if I'm being honest. It's kind of like ESPN or something. Like they're going to cover, you know, they're not going to cover the Tommies. You know what I mean? They're going to cover just, you know, the big games. I feel like every time you turn it on Nat Geo, it's always, you know, lion, giraffe, zebra. You never see like the fucking whooping crane or something like that. You know what I mean? You never see abstract animals. There's a lot of abstract animals. I would love to watch a show on like the stick bug. You ever seen the fucking stick bug?
No.
Oh, dude, I've seen some growing up in Virginia there. Like when I lived in Virginia, like I feel like they would be kind of common, and they kind of look like a stick, but they're a bug. They never show it. They're like camo. They're like true incognito, but they never show that shit on Nat Geo. They only go for the deer in the cage. Everyone wants to see the lion, the tiger, and I love lions and tigers, but I just think there's a lot of creatures out there. They just kind of phone it in on. Anyway, maybe I'm alone here. Maybe I'm alone on my opinions, and I'll live with that. Weber State is heading to St. George, Utah. Have you guys ever been to St. George, Utah? Let me tell you something. If you
Dixie.
like, what's that? You have?
No, I said Dixie State, baby.
Oh yeah, dude. Zion National Park. If you like to hike, if that's your cup of tea, let me tell you, Zion is awesome. There's a thing. I'll just put it like this: if you are perhaps dating and you want her to take if you like hiking, if like, okay, let me get out and hike, see the world, stuck in the city, go to Zion, walk the Narrows. Thank me later. It's like one of the most beautiful things you could fucking see. You got to do it. You got to do it too. You can't do it because when you're like 60 or 70, you're not gonna be able to do that. You got to do it when you got some life to you. Can't bring the dog. I tried. Trust me, I tried. Utah takes that very serious. Anyway, St. George, Utah. Zion is like 5 minutes outside of St. George, Utah, or 15 minutes. I don't know. Weber State is at Utah Tech. Weber State's laying 2.5. Mac, fuck you already. Fuck you. I want to say, I'm not even joking. I want to say I've lost $600 on Weber State this year.
Keep doubling down.
Yeah. I mean,
it's got to be the right side, right?
It's got to be, right?
This is like the buy lows. Like we're talking about that with Virginia Tech. I think like, damn, that back-to-back road spot. They were just laying 2.5 at North Dakota. They lose by 5. Now they go to Dixie State and they're only laying 2.5. I think Weber's the right side. I think Weber gets it done here.
I mean, I think last time I lost money, which was the 6th time I lost money on Weber this year, I think I said I'm never picking them again, but here I am. Here I am sitting there saying, you're making a lot of sense. You are making a lot of sense. And, yeah, let's do it.
Let's go, Weber. Come on. This is the one.
This is the one. This
buy low.
is the one. This is me betting on Weber this year, by the way. I got. This is me betting on Weber State this year after Mac and Noah put.
Oh shit! Oh my God! Is she okay?
That's the Weber State experience.
What an idiot!
Holy shit!
The guy narrating is great. Just he's not even in the water. I'd be super pissed if I was there.
She get away from that.
Oh shit!
Oh my!
It's fantastic.
Oh my God! Is she okay? Oh my God!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Let me tell you, football is the problem, though. Let me tell you, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna solve this right here.
You got to tweet out that after the show. Go no CT.
It's just so stupid. We're